Hey there. You're about to step through the threshold of your own voice into a space where every word you speak carries the weight of intention. You settle into your seat, the soft hum of the world around you fading as you lean in. The air feels alive, like the moment just before dawn, when possibility pulses against your skin. Keys out here. You're both guide and guest, holding the power to shape how others see you as clearly as the rising light shapes the sky. And yet, you might wonder if your voice is ready for such a role. So, before you get comfy with your headphones, take a moment to like the podcast and subscribe, but only if it feels right. Share your location and local time. Let this journey be as personal as your own heartbeat. Now, lean back, maybe dim your screen light, and let's drift into today's journey together. You've heard it said that words are wind, but leadership turns wind into sails. In this chapter, you'll learn to own every word you speak, to remove the hedges, those quiet disclaimers that whisper uncertainty, and speak as if every syllable matters. You'll discover why a single statement, delivered with conviction, can outshine 1,000 hesitant sentences. As you wander through crowded rooms of noise and chatter, imagine your voice as a beacon, not the loudest, but the one that stands steady, that calls attention because it stands for something. It begins when you strip out phrases like, I think, maybe, or I guess. Each time you catch yourself apologizing mid-sentence, you'll reframe and reclaim your power. You'll practice small exercises, mental rehearsals before your morning coffee, to strengthen the muscle of meaning. Real leadership communication is less about what you say and more about the belief you infuse into it. When you say it like you mean it, you give listeners permission to lean in, to lean forward, not because they have to, but because they want to. You'll reflect on moments when your voice wavered under pressure, then rewrite those moments with steadiness and clarity. You start the day with a simple mantra. My words matter. Speak it aloud or in your mind as you brush your teeth, stretch, or wait for the kettle to boil. That mantra roots you in conviction before you even open your mouth. Pause now and remember a time you said something half-heartedly. Feel how that insecurity lingers. Now contrast it with a moment when you spoke with certainty. Maybe it was a brief compliment or firm request. Notice how your own confidence shifted. That shift is the spark you'll harness here. Next, purposely remove one hedge word from your speech today. Replace I think with I know or I will. Feel how ownership changes the weight of each sentence. Keep a mental tally. Every removed hedge is a small victory, strengthening your communication muscle. In conversation, pay attention to your posture. Stand or sit as if your spine is a column of purpose. Speak from your chest, not your throat, so your voice resonates with grounded authority. If you catch yourself slouching or speaking softly, correct immediately. This physical adjustment reinforces your mental commitment. Now practice a brief, silent visualization. Imagine you're about to address a group. See yourself standing tall, words flowing from a place of deep conviction. Hear applause in your mind, not for volume but for authenticity. That imagery primes your nervous system to follow suit in reality. Throughout today, note every time you hesitate mid-sentence. When you do, gently pause, breathe, and restart the sentence without qualifiers. That pause is your ally. It signals control, not confusion. Finally, end your day with journaling. Write 3 statements you delivered with confidence. Reflect on the impact. Did someone nod, smile, or ask a question? Those responses are proof your words landed. By the end of this chapter's exercises, owning your words will no longer be an abstract suggestion, but a lived practice. Speak with certainty and watch as the world leans in to listen. You step forward into the glow of possibility and discover how often your words drift like mist, beautiful but insubstantial. Today you'll speak with absolute clarity so that every sentence you craft lands like a stone skipping true across still water. You begin by noticing the clutter, extra clauses that tangle meaning, adjectives that duplicate what the noun already says, and side notes that wander off track. And right now, take a mental snapshot of your last conversation. Hear how your words looped back, circling an idea instead of delivering it. That loop is the enemy of influence. Your first exercise unearths that loop. Reflect on one topic you care about, a project, a request, or an idea you champion. Without writing, silently outline your main point in 3 words. Hold it. 3 words that capture your purpose. Now imagine saying those 3 words to someone who's never heard you speak before. Let them sit in the air, unadorned. Next, you'll expand with a single clarifying sentence. No more. Use plain language, the kind people speak in hallways or over coffee. No jargon, no technical lingo. Picture a friend who's curious but unfamiliar with your subject. How would you explain it in one breath? That single sentence practice refines your thoughts, rooting them in everyday speech. Now, you'll practice trimming. In your mind, replay a phrase you often use in order to, basically, or you know. Each time it appears, strike it out mentally, replace in order to with to. See how the stream of words quickens, your meaning sharpened. Clarity also lives in pacing. Speed blurs words, haste dissolves precision. For the next hour, speak slower. Meet each listener's ear at a tempo they can follow. Notice how slowing down gives you space to choose words deliberately. Embrace the silence between phrases. That silence isn't emptiness. It's the cradle that holds understanding. Move to the next exercise, the paraphrase test. Choose one sentence you've just spoken. Ask your listener, real or imagined, to repeat it back. If they stumble or shift the meaning, you know exactly where clarity slipped away. Tweak until their paraphrase echoes your intent, then move on to the next sentence. Your posture matters here too. Sit or stand tall but relaxed, as though your spine is a hinge that lets you open toward your listener. That openness invites understanding. If you notice your shoulders creeping up by your ears, pause, drop them, reset your posture and your words. Throughout today, notice when you feel tempted to add another example. Stop. Ask yourself, have I made my point? If yes, rest. If no, add just one more sentence. No more. Discipline your inner editor to protect your listener's attention. In a few moments, you'll practice a mini presentation. Choose a topic under 30 seconds, your morning ritual, a hobby, a key project. Speak it out loud, timing yourself. Aim for 18 to 25 seconds. If you run longer, trim a phrase. If you're too short, add necessary detail. That sweet spot is where clarity meets engagement. Next, anchor your clarity in writing. Jot down your refined statement in a journal or a digital note. Seeing your words in print reinforces their structure in your mind. Read it aloud and listen for any jarring sounds or unclear sections. Refine again until your voice glides smoothly over each syllable. As twilight approaches, invite a trusted colleague or friend into your clarity test zone. Speak your refined statement and one supporting sentence. Observe their reaction. Do their eyes light up? Do they nod or ask a precise question? Those responses mark clarity's victory. To deepen the habit, create a clarity alarm on your phone every 3 hours. A chime reminds you to check if you've maintained simplicity in your recent speech. When it rings, pause, take a breath, and reflect. Did I speak clearly in my last conversation? If not, Review a key sentence in your mind and rephrase it simply. At day's end, conduct a clarity audit in your journal. Record 3 moments of clear impact and 3 moments of confusion you rescued. Note what caused the confusion: a stray adverb, a rushed delivery, an overlong explanation, and how you fixed it. That reflective practice turns mistakes into mastery. By the end of this chapter, you'll build a habit of simplicity. You won't mistreat your listener's time or attention. You'll honor it with every syllable. And in that honor, you forge the clarity that builds trust, respect, and influence. You step into a quiet corridor of your own presence and notice how your voice trembles at the edges whenever emotion rises unguarded. Today, you'll command your vocal tone before you try to lead, because true influence begins not with what you say, but with how you say it. Begin by closing your eyes. Inhale through your nose, filling your chest. Exhale slowly, feeling your shoulders drop and your jaw unclench. This breath anchors you, settling the swirl of thoughts in your mind. When you speak from this calm center, your tone becomes a conduit for authority, not a reflection of anxiety. First, record a brief passage of your own words. 2 sentences about something simple, like your breakfast or your walk to the door. Play it back, listen closely. Do you hear your pitch rise on every clause? Do you rush through consonants when excitement bubbles? Does a hint of doubt slip into your tone when a phrase hangs unresolved? Make a mental note of these fluctuations. This awareness is your doorway to mastery. Your first exercise focuses on breath-driven delivery. For the next hour, commit to breathing before each sentence. Before you speak, whether you're ordering coffee, texting a voice memo, or chatting with a colleague, inhale fully. Then exhale as you release the words. Match your vocal energy to your breath's steadiness. Notice how this simple adjustment transforms rushed chatter into measured delivery. Next, explore volume control. Stand in front of a mirror. Speak your name as though sharing a secret. Low and intimate, then speak it as though proclaiming your arrival on stage, strong and clear. Finally, settle on a middle tone, your natural grounded volume. Practice this tone with a short phrase. I'm here to guide, until it resonates in your chest and rings in your ears. That resonance will become your default level in daily speech. Now hone your pacing. In conversation or while reading text aloud, notice your tempo. If words tumble over each other, you're too fast. If syllables drag and draw, you're too slow. Aim for a tempo that allows each phrase to land before the next emerges. Practice reading a paragraph from a book, pausing at each comma and period to let the meaning settle. Then slightly shorten those pauses, finding the rhythm that feels both natural and intentionally controlled. As you practice pacing, observe how slowing down invites clarity. Rapid speech can blur meaning, leaving listeners chasing syllables, but measured pace lets each word settle, each idea breathe, each listener lean in. Try this. Speak a sentence without pausing, then speak it again with a deliberate 2-second pause at each comma and period. Feel the weight of each phrase deepen. With volume and pace underway, guard against emotional hijacking. Recall a recent moment of frustration, perhaps an email exchange or a tense discussion. Replay it in your mind. Hear how your tone would spike or quiver under pressure. Now, mentally insert a checkpoint at that moment. Pause. Take a single breath. Continue with calm, even pacing. Practice this mental rewiring until the pause becomes reflexive. That pause is your shield. To deepen vocal control, integrate humming exercises. Hum a comfortable note for 5 seconds, feeling the vibration echo in your chest, then glide up and down a simple scale. Ri-gaham, ri-kundu, keeping resonance even. This hum ties breath, body, heart, and voice in a seamless circuit of power. Practice humming before important conversations to center your vocal energy. Next, combine humming with articulation drills. After humming, speak a tongue twister, 6 slippery snails slid slowly seaward, matching your calm tone. This contrast refines clarity under control. Notice how the same breath and resonance carry both hum and speech. That unity makes your tone steady, your articulation sharp. Return to the mirror. Deliver a 1-sentence statement of conviction. Every word I speak moves people, using your calibrated breath, volume, and pacing. Watch for tension in your throat or jaw. Release it. Repeat until the delivery feels smooth, grounded, and resonant. This mirror work builds your internal feedback loop, calibrating your tone to your intentions. Throughout your day, schedule 3 tone checks at mid-morning, early afternoon, and late afternoon. When each chime rings, pause and speak a short affirmation. I speak with calm confidence. Listen closely. If your tone wavers, repeat until it steadies. That ritual rewires your vocal habits, weaving control into your routine. Embrace the power of deliberate silence. After making a point in conversation, pause and hold the silence. Resist the urge to fill it. Notice how listeners lean in. Drawn by the space you create, practice pausing for 3 full seconds after key statements to embed this habit. That silence becomes your echo chamber, reinforcing your message without additional words. Now integrate your vocal control into storytelling. Recall a personal anecdote, one moment when you overcame doubt. Craft it into a 45-second narrative. Speak it aloud in front of your mirror, employing your breath-driven tone, measured pace, and deliberate silences after each main beat. That pause after the climax lets the story settle, giving your listener time to connect emotionally before you move on. Later, in a live conversation or meeting, choose a single word to emphasize, remember, commit, or lead. Use your tone to highlight that word. Drop your volume slightly before it, then deliver it with subtle force, followed by a 3-second pause. That emphasis makes the word resonate, creating a moment that stands out in memory. To solidify these practices, create a short vocal recipe: 3 deep breaths, a hum, 1 affirmation, and a key phrase you want to anchor. Perform this recipe before every important conversation or presentation. Over time, this ritual primes your voice to shift from reactive to intentional on command. As evening approaches, journal 3 moments when you intentionally shifted your tone, softening to create intimacy, firming to assert presence, and pausing to underscore significance. Note the responses you observed: nodded heads, focused eyes, or thoughtful questions. These reflections anchor progress, connecting practice with impact. Finally, record a micro-presentation on your phone, a 60-second update on a current project. Center yourself with your vocal recipe. Then deliver, employing calibrated volume, measured pace, and purposeful silences. Play it back. Identify any residual tension or speed spikes, and refine until every word emerges with calm authority. By the end of this chapter's practice, you'll realize that controlling your voice is less about technique and more about presence. Through breath, awareness, disciplined pauses, and purposeful rituals, you transform your tone into a steady beacon, guiding others not by volume, but by conviction. Speak from that place of control, and you won't just be heard, you'll be followed. You step onto a stage of intention and feel the gravity of every syllable you release. Today, you'll learn to say things that actually move people to act, because leadership communication isn't applause, it's momentum. Begin by centering yourself on purpose. inhale deeply. And as you exhale, articulate silently your we, the core reason you speak: to guide, to challenge, to uplift. Hold that why at the forefront of your mind. Then speak your first sentence of the day with that purpose shaping its tone. Notice how your intent threads through each consonant and vowel, giving your words a gentle forward push. Your first exercise slices through vague intention. Reflect on one goal you have right now: launching a project, resolving a conflict, inspiring a team. Without overthinking, frame that goal as a single directive. We start today. You decide now. Let's commit. Speak it aloud. Let the directive land. That crisp command pierces through hesitation. Now, repeat it 3 times, each time varying your volume and pacing slightly. Louder, softer, faster, slower, so you identify the sweet spot that feels most compelling without aggression. Next, deepen it with context. Follow your directive with one concise rationale, no more than 10 words. We start today because momentum builds change. You decide now to seize this window. Let's commit to excellence in every detail. Combine directive plus rationale into a single flow. Practice saying it without pause, then with a deliberate half-second pause between directive and reason. Notice how that pause primes listeners to absorb both parts distinctly. Pause and sense the shift. That sentence isn't decoration, it's a jolt. It compels your listener, whether real or imagined, to bridge the gap from hearing to doing. Practice this action-reason pair 3 times today. In number 1, write it in your morning journal. 2, speak it to yourself in the mirror. 3, test it on a colleague or friend. Observe which medium carries the most punch. Does writing it make it feel more real? Does saying it out loud reinforce conviction? Use those insights to refine your delivery. Now, harness urgency without panic. Leaders push, but they don't terrorize. Frame the stakes clearly. Use plain language, no fear-mongering. If we wait another week, we lose our window. Delaying this decision risks our credibility. Say each line slowly, pausing after "if we wait," and again after we lose. Feel how those pauses spotlight each clause. Then balance it with possibility. But if we act now, our impact multiplies. That tension, stakes plus opportunity, is the engine of action. Repeat this stakes opportunity structure in 3 different variations today. For example, if we don't finalize the budget by Friday, resources slip away. But if we approve now, we accelerate growth. Your urgency exercise takes place in real time. During your next meeting or conversation, identify one decision that's stalling at the right moment. Interject your stakes opportunity pair. Then pause. Hold the silence for 2 full seconds. That pause forces collective reflection, often catalyzing choice. Observe how people respond. Some lean forward, some nod, some ask clarifying questions. Each reaction is a sign your words are shifting the dynamic. Now spotlight the human element. People move for emotions as much as logic. Recall a moment when you felt frustration about inaction. Name that emotion briefly. I've felt stuck waiting on this too. Say it with gentle tone, acknowledging shared experience. Then immediately follow with a directive. So, let's set a deadline now. That blend of empathy plus command makes your language both relatable and catalytic. Practice this empathy directive combo in at least 2 real scenarios. 1, personal, family or friend. 1, professional. Notice how each context slightly shifts your tone and word choice. Moving on. Craft a call to action sandwich. Begin with empathy, deliver the directive, close with vision. Example. I know you care about quality. Let's finalize this draft by Friday so we can celebrate progress on Monday. Keep each segment under 10 words and infuse it with genuine feeling. That sandwich wraps your listener in understanding, direction-backed, and aspiration. Ideal ingredients for movement. Practice this sandwich in 3 different mediums: an email, a hallway conversation, a quick chat message. Compare which medium resonates most with your audience and tweak accordingly. This mini experiment grounds your action language in real-world feedback. Next, eliminate passive phrasing. Words like consider, might, or could dilute action. Hunt them down in your speech and writing today. Replace, we might start next week, we start next week. Could you review this? Review this by end of day. That shift from permission to directive reshapes roles. People move from optional to accountable. Notice how your own mindset shifts when you adopt direct language. You feel more ownership, and so do they. To reinforce accountability, integrate naming. Attach each action to a person or group. Alex, share the report by noon. Team, we finalize the plan today. That specificity focuses responsibility. If you feel cautious, start with a softer variant. Alex, could you share the report by noon? Then streamline next time into the direct version. Notice how direct naming accelerates follow-through. Now bring in the debate phrase. Some argue that speed sacrifices quality. Use it to anticipate objections. Follow immediately with your rebuttal. But our prep ensures accuracy. That 1-2 punch anticipates resistance and extinguishes it. Practice inserting this structure, objection plunked resolution, into 2 real objections you expect this week. One about timing, one about resources. Shine a light on simplicity. Action language thrives in short bursts. For the remainder of today, whenever you craft a message, email, chat, or conversation, limit it to 3 sentences. Max. If you need more, create a follow-up rather than a single monologue. That brevity respects attention spans and catalyzes compliance. Now stage a micro-pitch. Choose a challenge you face. Getting buy-in for a new tool? Budget approval or rallying volunteers. Craft a 45-second pitch with 3 parts: directive, rationale, outcome. Rehearse until you hit exactly 45 seconds. Time it with your phone. That discipline sharpens you to deliver pitches that move others. Deploy that micro-pitch in your next interaction. Observe body language, leaning in, nods, raised chins. Those nonverbal cues reveal whether your words landed as intended. If you sense hesitation, loop back to empathy. I know it's new for us. Then restate your directive. That wraparound often seals the deal. As dusk falls, journal 4 action statements you issued today. Note which prompted the fastest response and why. Was it the urgency, the empathy, the naming, or the simplicity? Those insights refine your future language. Before sleep, imagine tomorrow's pivotal conversation. Mentally script your action language, directive, stakes, opportunity. Visualize delivering it with calm conviction. Feel the pause after the directive, the listener's absorption, the shift toward action. That mental rehearsal primes your mind and voice for real performance. By the end of this chapter, you'll see that action language is a craft of purposeful structure: directive, rationale, empathy, urgency, and vision woven into short, sharp statements. When you speak that way, you don't just inform, you mobilize. You enter a hall of echoes and realize how weak words bounce off walls without ever reaching the heart. Today, you'll learn to use strong words that build respect and attention, because leadership communication is remembered not by volume but by substance. Start with awareness. Listen to your inner voice. What phrases pepper your self-talk? Are you saying, "I think I can"? or I believe I might. Notice how those qualifiers soften conviction even before you step into a room. Catch one weak phrase now, silently observe it in your mind, then discard it. That one act begins your transformation. Your first exercise focuses on word choice. Identify 3 weak qualifiers you use most. Sort of, or kind of, or I guess. For each, list a strong alternative. Definitely. Precisely. Exactly. Or I know. Write them side by side in your journal. Maybe, definitely, sort of. Precisely, I guess. I know. Repeat each strong alternative aloud 3 times, feeling the shift in your chest as you anchor certainty in your voice. Each repetition embeds deeper conviction. New neural pathways form, replacing hesitation with resolve. Next, spotlight precision. Leaders don't search for synonyms. They choose the exact word that fits. Think of a recent email or message you sent, one that felt bland. I'll read it aloud and circle every vague word. Things. Stuff. Somehow. For each, substitute a precise noun or verb. Initiative. Strategy. Resolve. Read the revised sentence slowly, aloud, and hear how each word carries weight, sharpening your message's edge. Now, harness the power of contrast. Strong words leap out when placed next to ordinary ones. In your next 3 conversations, a quick check-in, a team stand-up, and a client call, replace a descriptor with a strong term. Call a deliverable transformational instead of good. Label a deadline non-negotiable rather than flexible. Or describe progress as unstoppable instead of steady. Before speaking, take a breath. Choose your word, then deliver it. Observe reaction. Lean in, nods, raised eyebrows. Proof that contrast commands attention. Precision thrives in active verbs. Passive phrasing dilutes action. The report was submitted by Alex versus Alex submitted the report. During today, convert 5 passive sentences you encounter, emails, chat messages, or meeting notes, into active voice. Speak them aloud. Feel how active construction conveys authority, assigns ownership, and creates momentum. Next, eliminate filler words. Like, these tiny hesitations erode credibility. Set a recorder for 1 minute of free speech, perhaps a spontaneous summary of your day. Play it back. Each time you hear a filler, mark it. Now re-record the same summary, pausing silently rather than filling space. Compare the 2. Feel how the second recording resonates with clarity and confidence. To deepen impact, integrate metaphor. Leaders harness imagery to drive points home. Identify a core message you deliver often. Project update, vision statement, challenge reminder. Craft a simple metaphor. Our roadmap is a lighthouse guiding ships through stormy seas. Or, this deadline is our finish line, not a suggestion. Speak that metaphor aloud, then pause for 3 seconds. That image lingers longer than abstract concepts. Now combine metaphor with precision. Frame your message. Our roadmap is a lighthouse guiding ships through stormy seas, so we reach safe harbor on schedule. Write it on your notepad. Say it aloud. Hear how the precise noun, lighthouse, and concrete phrase, stormy seas, fuse into an unforgettable line. Practice delivering it in front of a colleague. Ask them to retell it back. When they nail the metaphor and meaning, you've succeeded. Throughout the day, perform strong word audits. Before sending any written communication, email, chat, or report, scan for weak or vague terms. Highlight and replace them with bold alternatives. Replace, "We hope to start next week" with, "We will start next week." Replace, "I think this might work" with, "I am confident this works." That simple shift from tentative to certain transforms message and mindset alike. Next, craft 3 strong word statements tailored to your role. We commit to delivering excellence by Friday. I authorize this plan with full confidence. We eliminate obstacles to drive progress. Stand before your mirror. Deliver each statement. Pause after each for 3 seconds. Feel how certainty pulses through your chest. Repeat until you can speak each line without hesitation. Muscle memory forging automatic strength for high-pressure moments. Now insert the debate phrase. Some dismiss this approach as too bold. Use it to preempt critics. Then follow immediately with your assertion, now, but boldness drives innovation. Say it. Pause. Let it land. Practice deploying this bracketed structure, objection plus resolution, into 2 real objections you expect this week. One about timing, one about resource constraints. That anticipatory clarity disarms dissent. To underscore respect alongside strength, integrate praise paired with directive. When giving feedback, start with genuine recognition. I appreciate your thorough analysis. Then follow with a strong instruction. Now align it with our strategic priorities. Deliver this sandwich in 2 feedback sessions today. Notice how respect cushions strength, creating collaboration rather than resistance. Embrace deliberate pacing and emphasis. Strong words shine when given space. In your next presentation or meeting, select 5 key words. Commit, deliver, transform, and mark them in your notes. Ahead of each, pause, then state the word deliberately, followed by a 2-second silence. That rhythm transforms ordinary speech into ringing statements that echo in listeners' minds. As evening falls, journal 3 instances when you wielded strong words. Document context, exact phrasing, an audience reaction, leaning in, thoughtful silence, or immediate compliance. Notice patterns. Which words landed strongest? In what settings? With which tone? Those insights refine your internal lexicon of power words. Finally, create a strength anchor, a single potent phrase you want to imprint, such as, "We execute with excellence." Write it on a sticky note at your desk or set it as your phone wallpaper. Every glance, every tap, triggers you to speak it aloud with conviction. That anchor keeps strong language top of mind throughout your day. By the end of today's practice, you'll understand that strong words aren't shouty, they're precise, vivid, and unwavering. When you choose them deliberately and deliver them with care, you don't just speak, you command respect. You cross an invisible line and feel the pull to shrink your message, soften your tone, or hedge your own truth. Today, you'll drop the weak talk and speak with real strength, because leadership demands you stand firmly in your convictions without apology. Begin by recalling the last time you prefaced a statement with, "I'm sorry, but," or "This may sound silly, but." Bring that memory into focus. Feel how that fragile opening undermined what followed. That moment is your starting point. Each time you catch yourself preparing to weaken your language, pause, inhale, and restart the sentence without that qualifier. Notice the power shift in your chest as "I'm sorry" disappears. Your first exercise is a qualifier purge. For the next 3 hours, monitor every conversation, phone calls, meetings, casual chats. Each time you detect a weak opener, "I think," "maybe," "kind of," "sort of," or "I guess," stop mid-thought, inhale, then restart your sentence, eliminating the hedge entirely. If you slip, simply note it in your mind, then correct on the next try. By day's end, you'll have identified dozens of qualifiers, and each purge rewires your language to default to strength. Next, confront apologies, but only the preemptive kind. Leaders apologize when needed, not as a reflex. For the remainder of today, Eliminate any "I'm sorry for asking," "sorry to bother you," or "excuse me." But if you catch yourself slipping, replace it on the spot with an expression of appreciation. "Thank you for your time." "I appreciate your input," or "thanks for listening." Notice how gratitude asserts your worth more than self-deprecation ever could. Now amplify your self-talk in your mind. Transform every wish into a command. Replace "I hope" with "I will." Say each replacement aloud 5 times. "I will deliver the report today." "I will guide this team toward clarity." "I will uphold our highest standards." Each repetition anchors certainty in your voice. Then craft 5 personalized future statements and vocalize them. "I will finish this project confidently." "I will speak my truth clearly." "I will lead without hesitation." By the end of this exercise, will becomes your default future tense verb, commanding action rather than hoping for it. With qualifiers and apologies tracked, shift to statements of demarcation. Leaders define boundaries and communicate them without flinching. Identify one non-negotiable in your work. Quality benchmarks, ethical standards, or response times. Frame it in a single sentence. "I do not tolerate half-hearted efforts." Speak it. Pause for 2 seconds. Speak it again louder. Pause again. That double delivery entry with strategic silence cements the boundary, letting your audience feel its firmness. Your boundary exercise extends into real conversations. When someone proposes a compromise that undercuts your standards, maybe we could relax the timeline. Resist the urge to soften. Instead of, "Well, maybe be us," or "Could we?" respond with clarity. We need to maintain our quality benchmarks. If tension arises, breathe. Hold your gaze steady and remain silent for 2 beats. Notice how firmness anchors respect, even in disagreement. Next, hunt for disclaimers in your writing. Open any ongoing email or document draft. Search for "just," "only," "simply," "actually." Each instance that frames you as undermining your own message. Replace a "just following up" with a "checking in." Only a quick note with a brief update. Simply "let me know" with "please let me know." Then read the revised paragraph aloud. Feel how the prose shifts from timid to authoritative. Repeat across 3 different documents or messages until your written tone matches your spoken strength. Now integrate a mantra. "My voice has value." Write this phrase on 3 sticky notes. Place one on your monitor, one on your fridge, and one on your bathroom mirror. Each time you glance at a note, read it aloud. Let it sink in. That mantra becomes your internal guardrail against weakening language. Move to a role-play drill. Partner with a friend or colleague, someone you trust to push back. Have them challenge your position, criticize your solution, question your data, or mock your timeline. Your task: respond without qualifiers, apologies, or hedges. Use only clear, direct declarations. We will deliver on time. This approach meets our metrics. I stand by this recommendation. Practice 3 rounds, each lasting 45 seconds. Notice how direct responses feel more grounded than any apology or hedge ever could. Next, practice pause power. After making a strong statement, we implement this process immediately. Hold silence for 3 full seconds. Resist the impulse to soften, explain, or add context. That silence broadcasts confidence and compels listeners to fill the space. Proof your words carry weight. Now refine your verb choices. Identify 5 weak verbs you often use. Try, attempt, hope. For each, choose a stronger alternative. Execute, deliver, ensure. Construct 5 sentences using the new verbs. We execute the plan today. I will deliver the proposal by close of business. Our team ensures seamless execution. Speak each sentence in front of a mirror. Observe how strong verbs transform thoughts into actions. Your final exercise ties strength with empathy. Convey a difficult message, cancel a plan, decline a request, or redirect a project. Frame it with clarity and care. I value your contributions. However, we need to pivot our strategy to meet our goals. Deliver the line, pause, then listen. That balance, respect plus strength, signals leadership maturity and practice in 2 real or simulated scenarios, noting the difference in response when you include empathy versus when you omit it. As day turns to evening, journal 5 instances where you held firm, what you said, how you said it, and the reactions you observed: raised eyebrows, nods, thoughtful silence, or immediate agreement. Reflect on which tactics felt most natural and which required the greatest effort. Those insights guide your ongoing practice. Before sleep, whisper your strength mantra: my voice has value, 7 times, each time longer and deeper than before. Let that embrace anchor your voice even as you rest. Visualize tomorrow's conversations, noticing how you'll automatically default to strong language in each scenario. Finally, prepare a short summary statement for tomorrow's pivotal meeting. Craft it without any qualifiers or apologies. Make it a direct, commanding sentence of no more than 10 words. Practice delivering it with breath, firmness, and strategic pauses until it feels as second nature as breathing. By the end of this chapter, you will have shed weak talk habits and embraced a steady, unhesitant tone. Strong language is not aggression. It's clarity, conviction, and respect for your own voice and those you lead. Speak with strength and watch your presence transform every room. You enter the arena of challenge and feel the wind of disagreement brushing against your words. Today, you'll hold your ground when others try to shake you, because real leaders stand firm not only when praised, but when pressured. Begin by recalling a moment when someone questioned your idea and you felt your tone wobble or your certainty falter. Bring that memory into focus. Feel the tension in your chest, then inhale slowly, anchoring yourself in confidence. Remember, disagreement doesn't diminish your message. It reveals how solid your foundation truly is. Your first exercise builds unshakable clarity. Identify one strong belief you hold about strategy, values, or vision. State it aloud in one sentence. For example, we prioritize quality over speed. Speak it, pause for 2 seconds, then restate it using different words. Our standard is excellence, not expedience. Repeat this cycle 5 times, each iteration refining the phrasing and deepening your command of the concept. That repetition forges clarity that can't be bent by external pressure. Now, practice the pressure replay. Engage a trusted colleague or friend. Ask them to challenge your belief, pose tough questions, raise objections, or play devil's advocate. Your task: respond without hedges, qualifiers, or apologies. Only clear, concise restatements of your stance and rationale. Complete 5 rounds, each lasting a minute. Notice how direct responses feel more grounded than any apology or hedge could. To deepen resilience, integrate a grounding ritual. Before entering any high-stakes conversation, press your feet firmly into the floor. Feel stability rise from the ground through your legs, torso, and throat. At the same time, roll your shoulders back and lengthen your spine. That physical grounding translates to vocal steadiness. Your words flow from a stable base, not a trembling top. Practice this stance for 5 deep breaths before each exchange. Next, transform objections into opportunities. When someone counters your point, see it as a chance to clarify and strengthen. Use this 3-part response. Winner 1. Acknowledge, I hear your concern about timeline. 2. Clarify, our deadline aligns with market windows. 3. Confirm, so we can deliver maximum impact. Practice this structure in 4 real or simulated objections today. Role-play each with varying intensities: mild pushback, firm disagreement, sarcastic doubt, and misinformed critique. Tailor your acknowledgement to each: concise, empathetic, ambiguing, or firm. Through this variety, you ingrain adaptability without losing your foundation. Next, refine your tone consistency. Record yourself stating your position. We invest in people first. 5 different ways: excited, calm, firm, empathetic, and assertive. Then play back each version. Notice which tone best aligns with your authentic presence and message. Choose that tone as your default when standing ground. To embed it, mark it in writing. Default tone: calm, assertive. Before each major interaction, repeat a short affirmation: I speak calmly and assertively. That affirmation primes both mind and voice. Throughout the day, monitor your vocal fluctuations during disagreements. When you notice your tone rising on every clause, pause and lower your pitch by at least 1 note. You might even place a subtle hand on your chest to sense the vibration and keep it grounded. That drop restores authority and prevents emotional hijacking. Practice this drop live in 5 spontaneous conversations across different contexts: work emails, phone call, and in-person chats. Now, craft a boundary statement. Think of one non-negotiable in your work: deadlines, values, or quality. Frame it: our commitment to accuracy isn't debatable. Deliver this line with unwavering tone. Pause for 3 seconds and let it land. Then, follow up with a reinforcing phrase. It guides every decision we make. That second line gives rationale, ensuring the boundary feels firm yet purposeful. Repeat the 2-line sequence 5 times, experimenting with pacing and emphasis. To reinforce this, write 2 boundary reminders on sticky notes. Place them at eye level on your monitor and laptop. Each time you glance at them, repeat the boundary statement silently in your mind, then whisper it aloud. That repetition cements your resolve and primes your mind to hold firm when challenged. Next, practice strategic silence. After making a firm statement, hold silence for 4 full seconds. Resist any urge to clarify or justify. That silence communicates strength better than any words, and often draws out questions that help you reinforce your position. During today's meetings, discreetly practice this silence 3 times after key statements and observe the shifts in dialogue. Now integrate a challenge response catalog. In your journal, list 5 common objections you face and write concise responses for each using your 3-part structure. For instance, objection: this is too expensive. 1. Acknowledge: I understand cost is a concern. 2. Clarify: our investment ensures long-term savings. Confirm: so we protect both quality and budget. Role-play each objection response pair aloud. Record yourself and listen back, refining for tone and pace until each response lands firmly. As evening approaches, journal 3 moments when you held your ground under mild pressure. Note what you said, how you felt, and how people reacted. Leaning back, questioning further, or shifting toward agreement. Reflect on what solidified your stance and what shook it. Use these insights to refine your boundary statements and acknowledgement phrases. Finally, prepare for tomorrow's toughest conversation. Mentally rehearse your core belief, your boundary statement, and your 5 object objection response catalog. Visualize yourself grounded, responding calmly to objections, using strategic silence, and maintaining your default tone. Imagine the energy in the room, your calm assertiveness cutting through noise. That mental run-through primes your presence, making real performance feel like practice. By the end of this chapter, you'll understand that holding your ground isn't stubbornness. It's clarity, confidence, and respect for yourself, your message, and those who test you. When you stand firm, you teach others the weight of your words and the courage to follow. You find yourself at the crossroads of concision and discover how easily over-explaining bogs down even the clearest message. Today, you'll make your point without dragging or over-explaining, because leadership communication honors both meaning and others' time. Begin by recalling a moment when you felt compelled to add another example, another caveat, or one more detail, and watched listeners' eyes glaze over. Bring that scene into focus. Feel the tension between your enthusiasm and their fading attention. That memory fuels your motivation to trim your words to their essence. Your first exercise targets the too many words habit. Choose a recent email, chat, or note you wrote, one you remember feeling long-winded. Read it aloud, slowly, and time yourself. How many seconds before you finish? Now distill the entire message into one sentence. No more. Write that sentence at the top of your page. Beneath it, note the core intent you need delivered. That single sentence practice forces heavy pruning. Next, apply pruning to speech. Think of a topic you'll discuss today: project update, team alignment, or daily priorities. In your mind, craft a one-line summary. Subject plus action. For example, we finalize the budget now, or let's schedule the launch briefing tomorrow. Repeat it aloud. Pause, then speak it in your next conversation. Say less. Let it land. Now, refine with the 3-sentence rule. For the remainder of today, whenever you need to convey information via email, chat, or spoken, you'll use no more than 3 sentences. If more context is required, create a follow-up rather than cramming it into one message. That discipline honors your listener's capacity and sharpens your focus. To deepen brevity, engage the headline test. Before sending any written communication, ask, if I strip this to a headline, what remains? Write that headline at the top of your draft. Then ensure the body supports it, and nothing more. Headlines guide both writer and reader to stay on point. Throughout the day, harness pause as a pruning tool. After stating your main point, pause for 3 seconds before adding further detail. Use that pause to gauge listener reaction. If they lean in and nod, you've made your point. If they look puzzled, add one clarifying sentence. If they seem disengaged, stop. Your moment is over. Next, practice the echo feedback. In your next conversation, after making a key statement, Nergis, ask, did that make sense? Then stay silent, letting them paraphrase. When they echo back accurately, you know your concise message landed. If they falter, identify where clarity slipped, then restate succinctly. Your echo feedback exercise spans 3 interactions: a quick hallway chat, a team huddle, and a one-on-one. In each, apply the echo test. Compare how the same statement performs across contexts. Those differences reveal how audience and setting affect brevity. Now conduct a detail audit at mid-afternoon. Review the day's spoken and written messages, emails, chat threads, meeting notes. Highlight any message exceeding 3 sentences or paragraphs over 2. For each, rewrite a concise version in 1 sentence or a bullet. That retroactive pruning trains your editor mindset to sharpen your verbal brevity. Practice the word budget. Give yourself 10 words to explain a concept. Choose a topic, our project timeline or team's main goal. Write exactly 10 words that convey it. For instance, project launches Tuesday, finalize assets today, align resources now. Say it aloud. Notice how precision intensifies your message. Next, stage a concise pitch. Choose a challenge or opportunity, budget request, a resource allocation, or process change. Design a 30-second pitch, 1-sentence summary plus 1-sentence rationale, plus 1-sentence call to action. Time it. Adjust phrasing until it fits within 30 seconds. That micro-pitch is your flagship of brevity. In your next appropriate setting, deploy that concise pitch. Observe behavior, leaning in, nods, focused eyes, or requests for detail. Those cues tell you when brevity sparked interest and when follow-up is welcomed. If they ask questions, answer in 1-sentence increments. Maintain the 3-sentence discipline. Throughout your day, integrate concise checkpoints. Before sending or speaking, ask, "Can I deliver this in half the words?" If yes, cut. If no, continue. That mental filter becomes second nature, preventing verbose tangents before they start. Now bridge brevity with context using the tiered detail method. Layer your message in levels. Tier 1 is your one-line summary. Tier 2 adds a clarifying sentence. Tier 3 offers a brief example. Present Tier 1 first. Only move to Tier 2 if prompted. Only offer Tier 3 upon request. This tiered approach protects against over-explaining while satisfying curiosity when necessary. Your tiered detail exercise takes place in 2 exchanges, an email to a teammate and a live discussion. Track when you advance tiers and how the audience responds. That data refines your instinct on when to stop expanding. As evening approaches, journal 5 instances when you practiced brevity. Note the exact phrasing, delivery method, and audience reaction. Which settings most rewarded concision? Which tempted you to elaborate? These insights calibrate your future brevity decisions. Finally, prepare tomorrow's key messages. For each, draft your 1-sentence summary and potential Tier 2 sentence. Visualize delivering Tier 1, pausing, then assessing if the audience needs more. That mental rehearsal primates brevity into your reflexes. By the end of this chapter, you'll understand that saying less doesn't sacrifice substance. It amplifies it. When you prune your words to purpose, you lead with clarity and respect, ensuring every statement counts. You step into a moment that truly matters and realize how words can echo long after they're uttered. Today, you'll speak to be remembered, not just heard, because leadership communication leaves a legacy in listeners' minds. Begin by recalling a message that stayed with you, perhaps a mentor's advice, a slogan on a billboard, or a line from a film. Feel its impact resonate. Then ask yourself, what made it unforgettable? Was it vivid imagery, a strong verb, an unexpected pause that let it sink in? Let these elements guide your intention today. Your first exercise crafts unforgettable phrases. Identify a core idea you communicate regularly, your team's mission, a strategic vision, or a key value. Write it as a neutral statement. Our mission is to innovate. Now rewrite that statement in 3 distinct forms. And 1, vivid metaphor. Our mission is a lighthouse guiding explorers through foggy seas. Strong assertion. We demand innovation in everything we do. Rhetorical question. What if innovation was your default mode? Speak each version aloud, slowly, clearly, then pause for 3 seconds to let it resonate. Notice which one sparkles in your mind, stirs emotion, or makes you lean forward. That reaction reveals your memorable angle. Next, integrate contrast for impact. Strong contrasts carve mental grooves. Take your chosen memorable phrase and pair it with its opposite. We demand innovation in everything we do, not complacency. That simple twist ignites attention by showing both poles. Practice crafting 5 contrast-driven lines around your core ideas today. Speak each. Pause. and note how the juxtaposition sharpens memory. Memorability also thrives on rhythm. Leaders use cadence to embed messages. Pick a key statement, maybe your metaphor or strong assertion, and give it a rhythmic pattern. 3 beats. Pause and 3 beats. For instance, we demand innovation in everything we do. Repeat it with that rhythm 5 times. Rhythm transforms words into a verbal drumbeat that sticks in the mind. Now harness emotional triggers. Recall a time when you were moved by words, felt motivated, inspired, or challenged. What emotion did those words tap? Pride, urgency, curiosity? Choose an emotion to evoke today and draft a sentence aimed at triggering it. Example: imagine your pride when we launched this initiative. Speak that line aloud. Pause, feel its emotional charge, and observe how your body responds. Heart rate, posture, facial expression. To deepen emotional engagement, combine imagery, contrast, and emotion. Craft a single memory magnet by weaving together your metaphor, a contrast, and an emotional trigger. For example, our roadmap is a lighthouse guiding explorers through foggy seas instead of drifting in complacency that ignites our pride in discovery. Speak it aloud, then stay silent for 4 seconds, letting every element land. Your memory magnet exercise spans 3 contexts today: an email, a team meeting, and a quick voice memo. For each, introduce your memory magnet at the beginning, middle, or end. Observe when and where it lands most effectively. Note: audience reactions, raised eyebrows, smiles, thoughtful silence. Those cues signal memorability in action. Next, apply repetition with variation. Choose one memory magnet and embed it twice in succession during a conversation or written message, first in full form, then as a brief echo. For instance, we demand innovation in everything we do. Innovation is our standard. That echo reinforces memory by layering the message in different textures. To measure memorability, conduct a recall check. After a conversation or email chain where you used a memory magnet, reach out to one participant privately. What line stuck with you most? Listen carefully. If they recall your memory magnet, you've succeeded. If not, analyze which words they remember and adjust your approach accordingly. That feedback loop refines your memorable messaging. Now practice strategic surprise. Inject an unexpected word or twist that jolts listeners out of autopilot. Examples: our roadmap isn't a map, it's a mandate. Or innovation isn't optional, it's our oxygen. Surprise disrupts patterns and imprints memory. Create 3 surprise statements today and deploy them in conversation or writing. Brevity fuels memorability. Memory magnets work best when concise. For each crafted magnet, challenge yourself to cut it in half without losing its essence. If it's 10 words, aim for 5. Write the condensed version beneath the original and speak both aloud. Observe which lands louder in your mind. That pruning process sharpens your memory triggers. Throughout today, build a memory trail. In longer presentations or emails, intersperse 3 memory magnets at key junctures: opening, midpoint, and conclusion. These act like breadcrumbs, guiding your audience back to the core message. Test this in a short team update. Then ask teammates which phrases they remember moments later. Next, integrate questions that stick. Memorable communication often ends with an open question that continues the conversation. After a memory magnet, ask, where do you see innovation sparking next? That question lingers and invites mental engagement, deepening recall. As evening descends, journal 5 standout phrases, both yours and those from others, that resonated today. For each, record the context, exact wording, and emotional effect. That journal becomes your personal library of memory techniques. Finally, prepare tomorrow's pivotal message. Select one core idea, choose your best memory magnet, craft a concise echo, and plan a strategic pause. Visualize delivering it. See yourself speaking the magnet, pausing, asking the stick question. That mental rehearsal primes your delivery, making memorability feel like second nature when you step into the moment. By the end of this chapter, you'll understand that being remembered isn't about grandiose speeches. It's about weaving metaphor, contrast, emotion, rhythm, and surprise into concise, resonant phrases. When your words linger long after you've spoken, your leadership legacy takes root in every mind you reach. You return to the place where it all began. The daily conversations, the background noise of tasks, the moments between meetings where leadership often hides. Today, you'll train your voice daily until it leads naturally, because leadership is not a role you step into only when the stage is set. It's the voice you bring to every moment. Begin by anchoring in awareness in your mind. Replay a typical morning. The alarm's buzz, the steam rising from your coffee, the glow of your screen welcoming a new day. Notice the first words you speak, to yourself, to family, or to colleagues. Were they casual, uncertain, or intentional? That snapshot reveals your morning baseline. Let it guide your desire to build daily discipline, transforming casual speech into leadership practice. Your first exercise establishes a daily vocal ritual. Choose one consistent trigger. Pouring your morning coffee, opening your laptop, or stepping into your workspace. At that moment each day, pause, inhale, and speak a short affirmation. Today, my voice leads with clarity, calm, and conviction. Say it aloud. Let the words vibrate through your chest. Then exhale fully before moving on. That simple ritual wires your mind to link daily routines with intentional communication. Next, set up intentional conversation checkpoints. Use calendar alerts every 2 hours containing the label, "Check your voice." When each reminder appears, stop what you're doing, reflect on your recent interactions. Ask, did I speak with clarity, brevity, strength, memorability? If yes, mentally note the win. If no, identify one small adjustment, slowing down, pruning words, adding a pause, or injecting a strong verb. Those micro adjustments, repeated, accumulate into mastery. To deepen the habit, create a communication journal. At the end of each day, record 3 brief entries. 1 success, a moment your voice led naturally. 1 challenge, when your voice slipped. And 1 intention for tomorrow. Over time, this journal uncovers patterns, peak performance times, common pitfalls, and strategies that work best. Reviewing these entries weekly reinforces progress and fuels continuous growth. In habit practice through daily micro-presentations. Each morning, deliver a 30-second overview of your day's priorities, out loud to yourself in the mirror, or as a voice memo. Focus on clarity by crafting a 1-sentence summary, brevity by limiting to 3 sentences, and tone by speaking with calm assertiveness. Time it with your phone. Refine until it flows in under 30 seconds without sacrificing meaning. That micro-presentation primes both mind and voice for the day ahead. Next, integrate daily word workouts. Choose a new leadership term each week. Resolve, momentum, vision, impact. Write the word on a sticky note at your workspace. Each time you see it, create a 1-sentence statement using that word. I resolve to guide this team with integrity. Deliver it aloud. Inhale, exhale. Let the word echo. By week's end, you'll have embedded a robust vocabulary of strong, memorable words in your daily speech. To expand your muscle memory, partner with an accountability buddy. Share your communication journal entries, successes, challenges, and intentions at the end of each week. Offer each other feedback on progress and hold each other to the daily ritual. That peer accountability magnifies commitment and introduces fresh perspectives on each other's vocal habits. Now, train under pressure. Each day, identify one small high-stakes moment, a difficult email response, delivering feedback, or leading a quick huddle before stepping in. Perform 2 deep breaths, then recite your affirmation. Focus on steadying your breath, aligning posture, and speaking with intentional tone. After the interaction, journal what shifted in your tone, pace, and word choice. That real-time training simulates leadership's demands and accelerates adaptation. To sustain momentum, automate reminders. Use your calendar's recurring function to schedule these events. Daily affirmation trigger at your morning coffee time. 2-hour conversation checkpoints on weekdays from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Weekly vocabulary workout and peer feedback session every Friday at 3 p.m. Automated reminders ensure your training isn't left to memory alone. Transforming intention into consistent action. Beyond calendar cues, deploy visual anchors. Choose 2 small objects, a smooth stone, a paperweight, or a unique pen, and place them where you work. Each time your eyes land on an anchor, pause, breathe, recall your affirmation. That tactile cue reminds you to realign your voice with your leadership intention. As the week unfolds, expand practice into spontaneous conversations. When a casual chat arises, treat it as a mini training session. Apply clarity by summarizing in 1 sentence. Brevity by sticking to 2 sentences. Strength by removing hedges. Memorability by adding a vivid word or a pause. Those everyday moments, often overlooked, become arenas for leadership rehearsal. Midweek, conduct a vocal calibration session. Record a 2-minute summary of a recent event, project update, meeting recap, or feedback session. Listen back. Mark instances of fillers, hedges, or rushed delivery. Identify 3 areas for improvement, perhaps slower pacing, fewer qualifiers, or stronger verbs. Then re-record, implementing those adjustments. Comparing before and after solidifies your progress in a tangible way. Next, broaden your toolkit with empathy integration. Leadership voices command and connect. Practice infusing empathy into directives. Draft 3 statements that combine clear instructions with genuine acknowledgement. I know this deadline feels tight, yet we deliver by Friday to keep our momentum. Speak each aloud. Pause and note how empathy softens directives while preserving strength. As you approach the weekend, review your communication journal across the past week. Highlight the most impactful moments, micro-presentations, huddles, or spontaneous chats. Celebrate those wins. Perhaps you shaved 10 seconds off a presentation or eliminated hedges in feedback. For challenges, emails that needed rewriting or hurried calls, note the lessons learned. That weekend review primes your mindset for the coming week. Before sleep, perform a nightly vocal cooldown. Sit quietly, inhale deeply, exhale slowly, and whisper your affirmation. Tomorrow, my voice guides with clarity and calm. 3 times. This ritual transitions your mind into rest and embeds intention at a subconscious level. So when morning comes, your voice instinctively aligns with leadership. Finally, envision next week's key conversations. For each, identify the 1-sentence summary, 2-sentence context, and potential memory magnet. Visualize delivering each, speak the summary, pause, gauge the reaction, then proceed. That mental rehearsal primes both mind and muscle memory, making leadership communication feel less like a challenge and more like second nature. By the end of this chapter, you'll realize that training your voice daily isn't an extra burden, It's woven into the tapestry of every moment, every interaction, and every breath. When discipline and intention merge, leadership communication ceases to be a skill you switch on and off. It becomes as natural and vital as your heartbeat, guiding you and those you lead toward lasting impact. You settle into an evening hush, your day's work behind you, and the gentle rhythm of your breath before you. Tonight's wind down is a soft exhale for your busy mind and a lullaby for your leadership voice. Allow each sentence to arrive as a soothing wave, easing tension from your shoulders. Feel the weight beneath you, both grounded and supported. Notice how the world's noise dissolves into quiet space around your thoughts. In this calm, your voice rests, ready to rise again with tomorrow's dawn. Breathe deeply. Inhale the calm. Exhale the rush. With each breath, sense the warmth of reassurance settling in your chest. Your voice, which carried purpose through today's demands, now relaxes into gentle stillness. Imagine your voice as a soft glow, no longer commanding the room, but humming like embers in a hearth, inviting tranquility. Each word you've trained throughout these chapters finds rest here, tucked away until morning calls you to lead again. Think of the unwavering conviction you've built, strength anchored in breath, clarity forged by practice, presence rooted in intention. Tonight, honor that work by offering yourself compassion. Whisper to yourself, I have guided with care. I will rest with gratitude. Let those whispers cradle you in warmth or in this hush. Notice any lingering tension, thoughts of tomorrow's tasks or echoes of today's challenges. Breathe and release them. Trust in the foundation you've built. Let it carry you into peaceful rest. As sleep enfolds you, carry one gentle affirmation. My voice remains steady, even in slumber. Let it echo softly in the corridors of your mind, a lullaby that promises renewal. Now, drift into dreams. Let your leadership rest as you rest, and wake to speak with calm clarity once more.